Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine something for a moment. What if in the next 7 days you could reprogram the way you think? What if you could train your mind to unlock new levels of potential, eliminate self-doubt, and begin to create the life you've always dreamed of? What if I told you that the power to do this, to literally reshape your mindset, is already within you? That's what we're going to talk about today. How to brainwash your mind in the next 7 days. Now, before you think this sounds too radical, let's break it down. The word brainwash might conjure up images of someone being forced into believing something against their will. But what I'm talking about is the intentional, conscious decision to reshape your beliefs and your thought patterns in a way that serves you. Day one, take control of your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful forces shaping your reality. It's the constant stream of thoughts that runs through your mind, influencing how you feel about yourself, your abilities, and your potential. Yet most people go through life unaware of the negative self-talk that holds them back. Every time you hear yourself thinking, I can't, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed, you're reinforcing limiting beliefs that prevent you from reaching your true potential. The key to brainwashing your mind is to take control of this inner dialogue. You have the ability to change the way you think. And by doing so, you can change the way you experience the world. On the surface, this might sound simple, but it requires practice, discipline, and an understanding of how your thoughts directly impact your outcomes. Every thought you have creates a neural pathway in your brain, and over time, these pathways become ingrained habits. The more you think something, the more natural it becomes, which is why self-talk can be so powerful. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you replace a negative thought with a positive affirmation, you're essentially rewiring your brain to believe a different narrative. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you begin to think, I am worthy of success. When you think, I'm too old to start something new, replace it with, I am capable of learning and growing at any age. Every time you challenge the negative thoughts that arise, you're consciously shifting the direction of your thinking. This doesn't mean you will never have negative thoughts again, but rather that you will learn how to disrupt them before they take hold. The first step is awareness. The more you observe your thoughts, the more you realize how often they are negative or self-limiting. It can be unsettling at first to recognize how many doubts you have about yourself, but this awareness is crucial. Once you acknowledge the patterns of your thoughts, you can begin to redirect them. Start by identifying the negative self-talk that pops up throughout the day. Maybe it's when you're about to take on a new challenge or when you're comparing yourself to someone else. These are the moments when you need to be especially vigilant. Once you identify the negative thought, don't just push it away or ignore it. Engage with it. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? Often, when you take a step back, you'll realize that the negative thought is based on fear, doubt, or past experiences that no longer serve you. It's not a reflection of your true potential. You have the ability to rewrite that thought. For example, let's say you're about to present an idea to a group and you hear a voice in your head telling you, you're not good enough to be in front of these people. What if you fail? In that moment, you have the power to challenge that thought. Instead of letting it dictate your actions, replace it with something more empowering. Say to yourself, I've prepared for this. I have value to offer, and I am confident in my ability. Over time, your brain will begin to accept this new thought pattern as your default, and the fear of failure will no longer paralyze you. Another powerful way to take control of your inner dialogue is through affirmations. These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself to shift your mindset. The key is to make them specific, present tense, and personal. Instead of saying, I will be successful, say, I am successful and I attract opportunities to grow. By affirming your success in the present tense, you're telling your mind that success is not something in the future, it's already part of who you are. Consistency is essential. The more you practice positive self-talk, the more natural it becomes. In the beginning, it may feel forced or awkward, but stick with it. Your brain is constantly absorbing new information, and the more you feed it positive, empowering thoughts, the more it will begin to believe them. Over time, these positive affirmations will become automatic, and you will notice a shift in how you feel about yourself, your abilities, and your future. Changing your inner dialogue is one of the most effective ways to brainwash your mind for success. When you start replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations, you create a mindset that supports your goals, dreams, and aspirations. This simple yet powerful practice is the foundation for a life of confidence, resilience, and personal growth. Day 2, surround yourself with positivity. The people you surround yourself with play a pivotal role in shaping your mindset and determining the direction of your life. We are all influenced by the energy, attitudes, and behaviors of those around us. This influence is so powerful that it can either propel you towards success or drag you into negativity. If you want to brainwash your mind for success, you must take deliberate steps to create an environment that fosters growth, positivity, and empowerment. The first step in creating a positive environment is to evaluate your relationships. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they uplifting and supportive, or do they drain your energy and reinforce negative beliefs? Toxic relationships are a major roadblock to personal growth. If the people around you consistently put you down, undermine your confidence, or limit your potential, it becomes incredibly difficult to break free from those patterns and achieve your goals. Negative energy is contagious, and if you're constantly exposed to pessimism, doubt, and criticism, your own mindset will start to mirror that negativity. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with positive influences, people who believe in you, challenge you, and inspire you to do your best, you begin to internalize those qualities. You start to feel more confident, capable, and motivated. Positive relationships fuel your growth and push you to reach higher. They encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone and support you when you encounter setbacks. These relationships act as a safety net that allows you to take risks and pursue your dreams without the fear of being judged or criticized. In addition to the people around you, the content you consume also plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, and the media you engage with all contribute to the narrative that runs through your mind. If you're constantly consuming content that is negative, fear-based, or discouraging, it will be difficult to maintain a positive outlook. You must be selective about the information you allow into your mind. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching news that creates anxiety and fear, make an intentional effort to feed your mind with content that empowers and educates you. Books, podcasts, and videos that focus on personal development, success stories, and strategies for growth are powerful tools for reshaping your mindset. These resources can provide you with new perspectives, inspire you to take action, and help you develop the mental tools you need to overcome obstacles. Whether it's a motivational speaker, an expert in your field, or a person whose journey resonates with you, these sources of inspiration can serve as a reminder that success is possible and that you are capable of achieving it. Another key aspect of your environment is the physical space you inhabit. Your surroundings have a direct impact on your mental and emotional state. If you work in a cluttered, chaotic, or uninspiring space, it can be difficult to stay focused, motivated, and productive. A cluttered environment can create a cluttered mind. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring environment can help you feel more grounded, focused, and in control. Take time to declutter your workspace and home. Surround yourself with things that inspire you, art, quotes, plants, or anything that makes you feel positive and motivated. Being mindful of your environment also means paying attention to the energy of the spaces you occupy. If you find yourself in situations or locations that drain your energy or leave you feeling negative, make a conscious effort to avoid them. Instead, seek out environments that support your growth and align with your values. Whether it's a community group, a networking event, or simply a place where you feel calm and centered, the energy of your surroundings can either elevate or hinder your progress. As you begin to consciously surround yourself with positivity, you will notice a shift in your mindset. The negative self-talk will become easier to silence, and your confidence will grow. When you are in an environment that supports your goals and ambitions, you are more likely to take bold actions, persist through challenges, and remain motivated even when things get tough. The people, content, and spaces you engage with have the power to either elevate you or hold you back. By intentionally curating your environment, you are setting yourself up for success and creating a mindset that aligns with your vision for the future. Creating a positive environment isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. As you evolve and grow, your environment must evolve with you. Regularly assess the people, content, and spaces in your life and make adjustments as needed. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you to be your best. Feed your mind with content that encourages personal growth and create an environment that energizes you and fosters productivity. When you commit to building and maintaining a supportive, positive environment, you're giving yourself the best possible foundation for success. Day 3, visualize your future self. Visualization is a technique that has been used by successful people for centuries, yet it remains one of the most underutilized tools in the personal development toolkit. At its core, visualization is the practice of imagining your ideal future in vivid detail. And it's a powerful method for brainwashing your mind to believe in and work toward the success you desire. When you visualize your goals and the life you want to create, you are not just daydreaming, you are actively reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with those goals. This process is not just about seeing your success, it's about feeling it, believing it, and living it in your mind before it happens in your reality. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something that is real. When you picture yourself succeeding, your brain activates the same neural networks that would be triggered if you were actually living that experience. This means that every time you visualize achieving your goals, your mind strengthens the belief that it is possible. Visualization works by stimulating the areas of your brain responsible for action, emotion, and motivation. The more you practice it, the more your brain becomes primed to seek out opportunities, overcome obstacles, and push you toward your desired outcome. The belief that your success is inevitable becomes ingrained in your subconscious, which influences your thoughts, behaviors, and actions in the real world. One of the most effective ways to visualize is by making the experience as vivid and sensory rich as possible. Don't just imagine the end result. Immerse yourself in the entire journey. Picture the sights, sounds, smells, and feelings associated with achieving your goals. If your goal is to start your own business, for example, visualize yourself in your office space, interacting with clients, feeling the sense of accomplishment, and experiencing the joy of success. If your dream is to run a marathon, visualize yourself crossing the finish line, feeling the rush of adrenaline, and hearing the cheers from the crowd. The more detailed and specific your visualization, the more powerful it becomes. Another key aspect of visualization is to not just focus on the outcome, but to also feel the emotions associated with that success. Emotions are what give power to our thoughts and beliefs. When you visualize not only the actions, but also the emotions you would feel upon achieving your goals, whether it's pride, joy, fulfillment, or gratitude, you amplify the impact of your visualization. This emotional connection makes the experience feel real, reinforcing the belief that your dreams are within reach. Visualization also helps you overcome fear and doubt. When you mentally rehearse your success, you begin to build confidence in your ability to achieve it. You might feel nervous or anxious about taking the next step toward your goal, but by repeatedly visualizing yourself succeeding, you create a sense of familiarity with the process. You begin to believe that you are capable of achieving whatever you've set your mind to. This confidence is critical because fear often holds us back from taking action. The more you see yourself succeeding in your mind, the more willing you become to take the necessary steps in the real world to make it happen. One of the most effective times to practice visualization is first thing in the morning or just before you go to bed. These moments are when your mind is in a more receptive state, free from the distractions and stresses of the day. In the morning, your mind is fresh and open to new possibilities. And by visualizing your success at the start of the day, likewise, visualizing just before bed allows your mind to marinate on your goals overnight, making them even more deeply ingrained in your subconscious. Visualization can also be used as a tool to stay motivated during challenging times. There will inevitably be setbacks and obstacles along the way, but when you have a clear mental image of your desired outcome, it becomes easier to push through those difficulties. When you encounter a roadblock, instead of focusing on the problem, you can shift your focus back to the vision you've created. This refocuses your energy on the solution rather than the obstacle, reminding you that your success is not only possible, but inevitable. The more consistently you practice visualization, the more your brain will begin to prioritize opportunities and actions that align with your goals. You'll find yourself taking steps toward your vision even without consciously thinking about it. Your mind, having been programmed with a clear picture of your success, will help you identify and seize the opportunities that lead you toward your desired outcome. By visualizing daily, you transform your mind from one that doubts and hesitates into one that is confident, motivated, and aligned with your true potential. Visualization doesn't just change the way you see your goals, it changes the way your mind works to make those goals a reality. Day 4, master your emotions. Emotions are a fundamental part of being human, and they play a significant role in how we perceive and react to the world around us. Whether it's excitement, frustration, joy, or fear, our emotions influence our decisions, our behavior, and our ability to achieve our goals. The power of mastering your emotions lies in the understanding that you do not need to be controlled by them. Instead, you have the ability to control how you respond to your emotions, transforming them into tools that empower you rather than obstacles that hold you back. Mastering your emotions starts with awareness. It's important to recognize when emotions are taking over and how they're influencing your thoughts and actions. Too often, people act impulsively in response to their feelings. For example, when faced with a challenge, fear might cause you to procrastinate or avoid taking action altogether. Similarly, frustration might make you react harshly or give up too easily. However, when you develop awareness of these emotions, you give yourself the opportunity to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, you can acknowledge it, understand its source, and choose to move forward anyway. Instead of allowing frustration to dictate your actions, you can pause, breathe, and then decide how to address the situation in a way that supports your long-term goals. One of the most effective tools for mastering your emotions is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you become more attuned to your emotional state. You start to notice when negative emotions like anger, fear, or anxiety begin to rise, and you create a space between the emotion and your response. This pause is crucial as it allows you to choose how to respond instead of acting out of habit or impulsivity. Mindfulness doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It simply means becoming aware of them and making a conscious decision about how to act. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to remain calm and composed in the face of challenging situations. Another powerful way to master your emotions is through reframing. Reframing is the process of changing the way you interpret a situation. Instead of viewing a setback as a failure, you can reframe it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of feeling discouraged by criticism, you can choose to see it as valuable feedback that will help you improve. Reframing allows you to take control of your emotional response to situation. By changing the narrative in your mind, you can shift your emotional state and maintain a positive outlook even when things don't go as planned. One of the most common emotional challenges people face is fear, and fear can be paralyzing. It can prevent you from taking risks, pursuing your dreams, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. However, fear doesn't have to control you. In fact, fear can be used as a powerful motivator when you learn how to face it head on. Rather than running from fear, embrace it as a signal that you are about to do something important or outside your comfort zone. When you feel fear, acknowledge it, but don't let it stop you. Use that energy to push forward, to prepare yourself and to take calculated action. Over time, as you face your fears and take action anyway, fear becomes less overwhelming and less influential in your decision making. Another emotion that can hinder progress is self-doubt. It's common for people to second guess their abilities, especially when faced with new challenges or opportunities. Self-doubt can cause you to hesitate, procrastinate, or even abandon your goals altogether. To master self-doubt, you must develop confidence in your abilities and trust that you are capable of achieving your goals. One way to build this confidence is by looking at past successes. Reflect on moments in your life when you faced challenges and succeeded, no matter how small those successes may seem. By acknowledging your achievements, you remind yourself of your capabilities and reinforce your belief in yourself. Additionally, practicing positive self-talk can counteract self-doubt. Replace thoughts like, I can't do this, with I am capable and I will find a way. The more you reaffirm your abilities, the more confident you become, and the less influence self-doubt has over you. Emotions also play a critical role in how you handle stress. Stress is a natural response to challenges, but how you manage that stress can determine whether it becomes a motivating force or a crippling burden. Instead of allowing stress to overwhelm you, practice techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or exercise to calm your mind and body. These practices help you regulate your emotional state, reduce anxiety, and improve your focus. When you manage stress effectively, you can approach challenges with clarity, resilience, and determination rather than feeling defeated or anxious. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending that difficult emotions don't exist. It means understanding that you have the power to choose your response to those emotions. By developing emotional awareness, practicing mindfulness, reframing situations, facing your fears, building confidence, and managing stress, you can take control of your emotions and use them as a source of strength. When you master your emotions, you unlock the ability to remain calm, focused, and determined no matter what challenges life throws your way. Day 5, commit to massive action. Taking consistent, bold action is one of the most powerful ways to brainwash your mind for success. Many people have great ideas, set ambitious goals, and even visualize their dreams, but without action, nothing will change. Action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's what transforms dreams into reality and aspirations into accomplishments. Too often, people get stuck in the planning or thinking stage, waiting for the perfect moment or feeling like they need to have everything figured out before they begin. However, the reality is that success is born from action, and it's through action that clarity, confidence, and growth are cultivated. The first step to taking bold action is making a commitment to yourself. Commit to your goals and refuse to let anything stand in your way. This commitment serves as your anchor, keeping you focused and grounded even when obstacles arise. When you make a firm decision that you are going to take action, no matter what, you remove the uncertainty that often paralyzes people. Instead of waiting for the perfect circumstances, you take ownership of your future and start moving toward your goals one step at a time. A common mistake that many people make is waiting for motivation to strike before taking action. Motivation is fleeting, and waiting for it to appear can often lead to inaction. The key is to understand that motivation follows action. The more you take action, the more motivated you become. Once you start making progress, even small steps, you build momentum. This momentum propels you forward and fuels your desire to continue. The initial steps may feel difficult or uncertain, but once you start seeing results, you'll find that the process becomes easier and more enjoyable. It's the action itself that sparks the drive and energy needed to push further toward your goals. The next important aspect of taking bold action is overcoming fear. Fear is one of the most common reasons people avoid taking action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown can all hold us back from pursuing our dreams. However, it's crucial to understand that fear is a natural part of the process. Every successful person has experienced fear. But what sets them apart is that they take action despite it. Instead of allowing fear to control their decisions, they choose to move forward anyway. Fear is not something to be avoided. It is something to be acknowledged and then pushed through. Taking bold action in the face of fear builds resilience and strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. The more you face your fears head on, the more confident and capable you become. One of the keys to consistent action is developing discipline. Discipline is the ability to continue taking action even when you don't feel like it or when the results aren't immediate. It's easy to be motivated and take action when things are going well, but true success is built on doing the work even when you don't see instant results. Discipline requires you to show up every day even when you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. It's the small, consistent actions taken day in and day out that compound over time and lead to massive success. When you commit to discipline, you make the choice to prioritize your goals over short-term distractions or temporary feelings of discomfort. Another important factor in taking bold action is embracing failure as a necessary part of the journey. Too many people fear failure and let it stop them from trying in the first place. However, failure is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone towards success. When you fail, you gain valuable insights about what works and what doesn't, which allows you to adjust your approach and try again with greater wisdom. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times, but they view failure as an integral part of the learning process. Rather than being discouraged, they use each failure as fuel for further action and improvement. Time management is also a critical component of taking consistent action. Without effective time management, it's easy to get distracted by trivial tasks or procrastinate on important actions. To take bold action, you need to be intentional with how you spend your time. Set clear priorities and dedicate time each day to work on your most important goals. Break down your larger goals into smaller, actionable steps and commit to taking one step at a time. Avoid getting caught up in the trap of perfectionism or trying to do everything at once. Focus on progress, not perfection. By managing your time effectively, you ensure that you are consistently making progress toward your goals and not wasting precious time on things that don't matter. Bold action also requires a mindset shift. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong or the obstacles in your way, focus on what you can control and how you can make progress, no matter how small. Cultivate a mindset of abundance where you believe that opportunities are plentiful and that the more action you take, the more you create for yourself. When you approach challenges with a mindset of growth rather than limitation, you open yourself up to creative solutions and new possibilities. You start to see obstacles as opportunities for learning and growth rather than insurmountable barriers. The journey to success is not always smooth, and there will be times when you feel discouraged or doubt whether your efforts are paying off. However, the key is to keep taking action. Even when progress seems slow, keep moving forward. Bold action isn't about making giant leaps every day. It's about consistently showing up and doing the work. It's the accumulation of small, intentional actions that over time lead to massive results. As you continue to take bold action toward your goals, you will begin to see that success is not a matter of luck, but of persistence, discipline, and the unwavering commitment to moving forward. Day 6, eliminate limiting beliefs. Gratitude is one of the most transformative emotions you can cultivate in your life, yet it is often overlooked or taken for granted. When practiced intentionally, gratitude has the power to reshape your mindset, improve your emotional well-being, and accelerate your success. It's easy to focus on what's lacking in your life, what you don't have, what you haven't achieved, or what others seem to be doing better. But when you consciously choose to focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your energy from a place of lack to a place of abundance. This shift is not just a mental exercise. It has a profound impact on your emotions, your actions, and the way you perceive the world around you. The first step to harnessing the power of gratitude is to incorporate it into your daily routine. The more you make gratitude a regular part of your life, the more you train your mind to seek out the positive aspects of your situation, no matter how challenging it may seem. Begin each day by taking a few moments to reflect on the things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand gestures or big achievements. Sometimes it's the small things, like a cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of nature, that make the biggest impact. When you start your day with a mindset of gratitude, you set a positive tone for the rest of the day. You approach challenges with a sense of optimism, and you are better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in improving your emotional well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the stresses and pressures of life, and when you're focused on what's going wrong, it can be difficult to see the good that's already present. However, by practicing gratitude regularly, you begin to shift your focus from what's missing to what's already abundant in your life. This shift has a profound effect on your mood and emotional state. When you focus on the positive, you cultivate feelings of contentment, peace, and joy. Research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress and anxiety, have better sleep, and report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better, it also improves your overall quality of life. When you express gratitude, whether it's through journaling, saying thank you to others, or simply reflecting on your blessings, you create an energetic shift in your brain. Neuroscience has shown that gratitude activates areas of the brain associated with pleasure and reward, releasing dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters that make us feel good. These chemicals not only enhance your mood, but they also strengthen your ability to stay positive and resilient in the face of challenge. Gratitude literally rewires your brain to focus on abundance and positivity, making it easier to find solutions rather than dwelling on problems. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to improve relationships. When you take the time to acknowledge and express gratitude for the people in your life, you not only make them feel valued, but you also deepen your connection with them. Gratitude fosters positive emotions, and when you express appreciation toward others, it strengthens bonds and encourages mutual respect and trust. Whether it's thanking a colleague for their hard work, telling a friend how much their support means to you, or expressing gratitude to a family member for their love and care, these simple gestures of appreciation go a long way in creating stronger, more supportive relationships. Gratitude is also an essential tool for overcoming adversity. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles, and it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, by practicing gratitude during tough times, you can shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, you can find meaning in the struggle and see how it's helping you grow. Gratitude allows you to reframe difficult situations, helping you to view them as opportunities for learning rather than insurmountable barriers. It also helps you stay resilient and maintain a sense of hope even when things seem bleak. Incorporating gratitude into your mindset also enhances your overall ability to achieve success. When you approach your goals with an attitude of gratitude, you begin to recognize and appreciate the progress you've already made rather than constantly focusing on what's left to do. This sense of appreciation for your efforts helps you stay motivated and focused. You are no longer overwhelmed by the enormity of the task ahead. Instead, you take pride in each step forward and celebrate the small victories along the way. Gratitude helps you develop a mindset of abundance, which in turn attracts more opportunities, success, and fulfillment into your life. The practice of gratitude doesn't require any special skill or effort. It's simply about shifting your focus and choosing to see the positive, even in the most difficult situations. When you commit to practicing gratitude regularly, you begin to rewire your brain to focus on what's working in your life, creating a ripple effect that touches every aspect of your being. You'll notice that your emotional state improves, your relationships strengthen, and your ability to overcome challenges becomes easier. Gratitude transforms the way you see the world, and in doing so, transforms your life. Day 7, reinforce with gratitude. One of the most crucial aspects of brainwashing your mind for success is learning to master your thoughts. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool, but if left unchecked, it can also be your greatest obstacle. The thoughts you think on a daily basis shape your reality. They determine your actions, influence your emotions, and ultimately dictate the results you achieve. If you want to create a life of success and fulfillment, it is essential that you take control of your thoughts and ensure they are aligned with your goals and aspirations. Most people by default think negatively. Their minds are often filled with doubt, fear, self-criticism, and worry, these thoughts create a mental environment that is counterproductive to success. Negative thoughts not only limit your potential, but also drain your energy and motivation. They become a self-fulfilling prophecy because when you believe you cannot succeed or that something is too difficult, you will unconsciously avoid the actions necessary to make progress. This is why it's so important to reprogram your mind to focus on positive, empowering thoughts that support your growth and success. The first step to mastering your thoughts is developing awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that regularly occupy your mind. Are they focused on possibilities, or are they filled with doubts and fears? Are you constantly thinking about what could go wrong, or are you envisioning what could go right? Awareness is the key to change. Once you recognize the nature of your thoughts, you can begin to question and challenge them. When a negative or limiting thought arises, instead of simply accepting it, ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helping me? Is it serving my goals? Often you will find that the negative thoughts are either unfounded or exaggerated. They are simply stories your mind has created that are not based on facts. Once you become aware of your negative thoughts, the next step is to consciously replace them with positive, empowering thoughts. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect, but it does mean choosing to focus on solutions, opportunities, and possibilities instead of problems. For example, instead of thinking, I can't do this, it's too hard, try shifting your mindset to, I can handle this. I'm capable of overcoming challenges. Replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations is one of the most effective ways to reshape your mindset. When you consistently repeat empowering statements like, I am successful, I am capable, or I am worthy of achieving my dreams, your brain begins to internalize these beliefs. Over time, they become part of your identity, and your actions naturally begin to reflect these new, more empowering beliefs. Visualization is another powerful tool to help master your thoughts. By imagining your desired outcome in vivid detail, you send a clear message to your subconscious mind about what you want to achieve. The more you visualize your success, the more real it becomes in your mind. Visualization engages your emotions, creating a powerful connection between your thoughts and your desired outcomes. This mental rehearsal primes your brain to take the actions necessary to achieve those goals. When you picture yourself succeeding, your brain treats that visualization as if it were real, strengthening the belief that success is possible and within your reach. It's also important to recognize that mastering your thoughts requires consistency. Just as it's easy for negative thoughts to creep into your mind on a daily basis, positive thoughts must also be reinforced consistently. One way to do this is by creating daily habits that support a positive mindset. Start each day with affirmations or visualization exercises. Take time to reflect on what you're grateful for. Focus on your strengths and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. These practices set the tone for your day and create a mental environment that encourages positivity, growth, and success. Another key aspect of mastering your thoughts is learning to manage your emotional state. Your emotions are closely tied to your thoughts. And when you're in a negative emotional state, it's often because you've been thinking negative thoughts. Conversely, when you shift your thoughts to more positive and empowering beliefs, your emotional state will naturally improve. One of the most effective ways to manage your emotions is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you are mindful, you create a space between your thoughts and your emotional reactions, giving you the power to choose how to respond. Instead of reacting impulsively to negative thoughts, you can take a step back, breathe, and choose a more constructive response. Another strategy for managing your thoughts is learning how to let go of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained thoughts and assumptions that hold you back from reaching your full potential. These beliefs might include thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm not worthy of success. These beliefs often stem from past experiences or societal conditioning, but they don't have to define you. To let go of limiting beliefs, start by identifying them and questioning their validity. Ask yourself, is this belief true? Where is the evidence to support it? Often you'll find that these beliefs are based on past failures or societal expectations that no longer serve you. Once you challenge these beliefs, replace them with new, empowering ones that align with your goals. Mastering your thoughts is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. It requires constant awareness, practice, and commitment. But the more you take control of your thoughts, the more empowered you become. When your thoughts are aligned with your goals, you begin to see new opportunities, take more decisive action, and overcome challenges with greater ease. The power to shape your reality lies within you. And it all starts with mastering your thoughts. When you consistently choose thoughts that support your success, you begin to reprogram your mind for greatness.